I love to use my chainsaw around our property in Colorado. I love the feel of the small engine at work in my hands. And I love the sound of the saw cutting through the logs. I love the smell of fresh cut wood. When we first bought this property, there was a lot of downed trees and slash cuttings from the previous owner. On every trip I make, I always take time to clean and clear some of the old downed wood. Sometimes, though, I take down a tree. Some trees are dead and need to be cut down. Other trees are brought down to thin the trees as part of good forest management. Also, I admit, I've taken down 2 or 3 trees that were blocking a view of the distant mountains. I wanted to open up the view and see the great vistas out there. My first memory of using a chainsaw when I was in high school. We were living in the Denver area and my family had taken a day trip up into the mountains. My dad had borrowed a truck and chainsaw from a coworker who owned some property about 2 hours from Denver. Our family was on a day trip that day to cut our own firewood. It was a day that I would remember for a long time. It was on that day trip that I got to use a chainsaw for the first time. Who knew, years later, that I would own my own 5 acres of mountain property and cut my own wood? Over the last 10 years, I've probably spent about 30 hours of chainsaw work around this beautiful place. We have some tall trees on our property. I've only cut down a few of the tall trees, but when I do, the sound of the cracking wood, the ripped branches, and the thud when it crashes is a wonder to behold. My greatest joy when I use my chainsaw is in my role as a forest manager. I have read a lot about forest management. Although I do not claim to be an expert by any means, I do understand the benefits of thinning trees, removing dead trees, and allowing healthy trees to grow. There is one stand of trees that I call the stand of 7. One summer a few years back, I thinned out the stand, removing some smaller trees and a few unhealthy trees. And then I was left with 7 healthy trees, which I called the stand of 7. As I've watched this stand of 7 grow unhindered, I can already see the value of thinning. I can see the value of good forest management. Right now, these trees look healthy. They are growing straight, and they'll make a great area to enjoy, to lounge about and walk around and enjoy and sit under as they double in size over the years. As with any tool, safety and precision and technique are what make it enjoyable and productive. This particular tree in this video is dying. It was on a hillside and I decided to remove it. I pretty much was able to cut it down and have it land where I wanted to. That is called the joy of experienced technique. Being able to lay down a tree, large tree, right where you want it and hear the crash and thud is a wonder to behold.